key words for us in our study today are the words when and then. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, final day, day 5 of Shelach Lecha. And we go into chapter 15 of the book of Bamidbar, or Numbers, verse number 1. Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, when you have come into the land of your dwellings, which I am giving you, and you make an offering by fire to Yahweh, an ascending offering or a slaughtering to accomplish a vow, or as a voluntary offering, or in your appointed times to make a sweet fragrance to Yahweh from the herd of the flock. Verse 4, then he who brings near his offering to Yahweh shall bring, and what follows are instructions about bringing these particular offerings. This when and then motif is found again in verse number 18 and 19. Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when you have come into the land which I bring you, then it shall be, and what follows again are more instructions. So we understand that there are ways that we have behaved in past situations that now are changed. And there are understandings that when you arrive at new heights, new opportunities, new jobs, new buildings, new careers, when you get there, then this should be your expectation. Yah is trying to encourage people to understand that while you're in the land of exile, or while you're in a place of transition from exile to the promised land, understand that as you have done and are doing, when you come to my land, this land that I have chosen, things are going to be different. Are we prepared for the difference? Are we rightly, correctly expecting the things that are going to be required of us? Now, what we're talking about is the land is not the political, geographical definitions of the state of Israel. While this small landmass is included, very much so, and very prime within it, the kingdom land, the land of inheritance, goes, as Yah said to Abraham in Bereshit 15, from the river of Mitzrayim to the Euphrates. This is a much larger landmass. It will incorporate several present-day countries. And Yah says things are going to change. Lands in which Sharia law is now the authority, or at least that which governs the minds of those in authority, in the days of the kingdom, that will no longer be the case. Sharia law will be a forgotten item of the past. The world will be ruled by Yeshua, our Messiah, the world's king. He will rule according to the Torah. Most definitely, the boundaried lands of the kingdom, the land of Eretz Israel, as Yah sees it, will indeed be governed by the Torah. And Yah says, when you come into my land, this is the way that you're going to do things. Now, Yah owns this land. Indeed, he owns the earth. He says that he owns the world and all they that are therein. So, definitely the world is his, but in particular, his love and his admiration, his heart, his eyes are upon the land of Israel and Jerusalem as the epicenter. Those who enter into that land are going to be those who are selected to be in that land. Well, that's not fair. This is not about being fair. This is righteous and divine choice, and it's his to make. Where this falls to us is an understanding that we need to be rightly focused not only about what land holds preeminence and prominence in our expectation and in our minds and our focus, but also in our attitudes toward getting ready to live there. I am, and I've shared this before, I'm a 10th generation Virginian. I am a 13th generation American. My family goes back to the Winthrop fleet that landed at Plymouth Rock in 1630. We've been here almost 400 years. I love this land. I love my state. I've traveled it from one end to the other. It's some of the most beautiful territory that I've ever seen and personally witnessed. Other places are wonderful. I've been there. I appreciate them. But Virginia is home. However, I can tell you that there was a day in the year 2001 that my wife Laura and I stood at Mount Scopus and overlooked the city of Jerusalem. My heart was transplanted from Virginia to Israel. During that tour that we took, there was an occasion of riding on a bus through the Golan and looking upon those fields and seeing that beautiful landscape. My heart was stricken, and I realized there is a element of my DNA looking out that bus window that was screaming, "This is home. This is where we've been, and this is where we belong." So my heart is dancing somewhere out there on the Golan Heights, and I yearn to return to that. Now, you may never have had the opportunity to go to the land. And if you ever have that chance, you want to seize it, especially if you can go on the Connect to Israel tour with Mike Clayton and Hanok Young. I highly, highly recommend that. And I will tell you from personal experience, there is no better tour anywhere by anyone. No questions asked, hands down, that's the one to go on. That said, we need to develop a kingdom allegiance. You may not yet have seen the land, but you can understand the kingdom. The kingdom is alive and it's in you. Yeshua is not only going to be the king of the earth, but he is going to be in particular the king of Israel. In that day, there will be one lone superpower in the earth, and it will not be the United States. I'm not asking for judgment on the United States to get to Israel. I pray that Yah will help us and Yah will deliver us. But in that day, Israel will be the focus of the world. And when that day comes, then you and I will adjust our life and our living, our mental focus, and our heart allegiance to that land and its requirements. What does that have to do with us as we prepare for Shabbat? Let's understand then that we cannot adopt the mindsets, the allegiances, the captivations and entertainments of this present world wherever it is that we are, and become so enthralled and allured by it that we lose sight of that which is our inheritance. We cannot adjust our morals, our core values, changing our way of thinking and our way of perceiving from that which the Torah declares for us to that which, this is the modern way of thinking. This is just how it is. This is the postmodern era. This is the new normal. You cannot give yourself to the new normal. You must return to Yah's normal. This book is normal. This is real. This is long lasting. That which is being decreed for you here and now is in today and out tomorrow. It's but a fad. Those leaders who are standing up and banging their drums and demanding to be listened to today will be forgotten tomorrow and replaced by somebody else who will change the whole thing. Yah never changes. You and I must become focused on that which is definite and permanent, giving our lives to that. Because when we get there, then Yeshua is the King, and we will bow before him, and we will serve him. And may Yah hasten that day. Shabbat Shalom to you and your family. May you find the riches of his presence. See you next week.